Hello everyone and welcome back into another video. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back, it's nice to have you here. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I make gaming content, it's not just Warframe, so if you're interested in what you see, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you wanna see more. Today we're once again back in Warframe for another build, and this time we're having a look at the Furis. This weapon early on is not that great because it's just your starter pistol pretty much, and you'll be using it and leveling it up, and then you'll probably forget about it, but eventually you'll be able to unlock the Incarnon evolution for this weapon, and that will transform it into a monster. And as a preview, I'll just show what this weapon can do, and that's pretty much this. So I'm just gonna spray, and well, everything is going to die from very high hit procs, which is great. Anyways, that's enough introductions for now, so let's jump into the build. First of all, let's start from the Incarnon evolutions. The first evolution is what unlocks the Incarnon form that you activate by pressing your Alt fire after the Incarnon meter is fully charged. You charge the Incarnon meter by shooting weak points on enemies, and depending on how much you charge the meter, you'll get more ammo on your Incarnon form. Moving to evolution 2, you have a choice between base damage plus 28 and with overshields plus 30, or plus 28 base damage, and on hitting enemies affected by electricity status, you gain 40% more multi-shot for 2 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Between these two options, I recommend going for Stormburst just because it's easier to achieve, because usually you'll have something in your kit that applies electricity, and that could even be your companion, so yeah, it's quite easy to do and quite easy to achieve, and you get 120% more multi-shot. Then we have evolution 3, and here we can choose between plus 50% accuracy, plus 25 base magazine capacity, or on headshot 10% chance for instant reload. Here you can choose the one you prefer, because these are pretty much all the same in terms of value. In my case, I have a Riven that reduces my magazine capacity, so I went for this one. And finally, we have evolution 4. Here you can choose between on headshot plus 5% more fire rate for 2 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. Shots fired with less than 40% crit chance increase your base crit damage by plus 3x. Or the one I choose, which is plus 28% base status chance. Prelude of Might is actually really good, but I just like applying more statuses and seeing those hit stacks go up. So those were the Incarnon evolutions. Let's now move on to the base stats. This weapon has a fire rate of 10 at base with a magazine of 60. Reload is very fast at 1.4 seconds. And this weapon has a Riven disposition of 5 out of 5, so that means that Rivens will be quite good. I actually have a pretty good one myself, but you can get even better ones if you get some crit stats. Primary mode has a crit chance of 5% and a critical multiplier of 2x. Status chance is 40% thanks to our Incarnon evolution, and the weapon will mostly deal puncture damage. Moving to the Incarnon form, fire rate goes up to 12. The beam has a range of 16 meters, which is pretty good. Although the fall-off starts at 10 meters, so you have to consider that. And you can get a maximum of 280 charges. The Incarnon form has a crit chance of 26%, a critical multiplier of 3.4x, and a status chance of 52%. This mod will only deal hit damage for a total of 179.2. The reason is that multi-shot starts at 1.4, and that might be a visual bug, but I am not exactly sure, so if you have more info, leave them in the comments. And this is the build I'll be using in today's video. I'm running Prime Pistol Gambit and Prime Target Cracker for more crit chance and more crit damage, Magnetic Might for more magnetic damage and critical damage. Magnetic damage on your weapon is actually quite good because it does help against enemies that have a lot of overguard. Then I'm using Scorch and Prime Heated Charge for a lot more hit damage and some status chance. Lethal Torrent and Galvanized Diffusion for a lot more multi-shot and also 60% more fire rate. And finally, I am using Galvanized Shot for more status chance and on kill 40% more direct damage per status type affecting the target. In my Exil slot, I am running Lethal Momentum, and that is to increase the fall of damage from 10 meters to 14, that way I can shoot enemies from further away and still deal full damage. The arcane I'm going to use is Cascadial Flare, because this arcane can give you up to 480% more damage on your weapon, and the only requirement is to apply heat, which this weapon will deal very fast. I will also show my Riven later, but for now let's start with this build. So let's now see it in action. We have here our 20 Corrupted Heavy Gunners, level 225 with Steel Path modifiers, and I'll just start by shooting them in the head to charge my Incarnon meter, which as you can see will fill in seconds because we have a lot of fire rate and also multi-shot. Now I'm going to press my Alt fire button to transform the weapon into its Incarnon form, and yeah, let's see how it performs. Well, it's not as good as having a Riven, of course, but you can see that we are taking care of the enemies, and even if we don't kill them right away, the hit stacks will take care of the remaining health. and that's pretty much how it's gonna work. We are also not using this weapon at its full potential yet, because we're not hitting enemies that are affected by electricity, so we are not getting the 120% more multi-shot damage, and that's kind of a big problem, so let's just fix that. I summoned 20 new fresh enemies. I also swapped to Volt so I can apply electricity with my one, and yeah, let's see how it performs with some more multi-shots. So I'm going to do that, and up here on the top right you can see this symbol, which is going to be your Storm Burst, and that is right now at 2 stacks. It will eventually go to 3 when we start hitting them. So yeah, we now have 120% more multi-shot, which for beam weapons means 120% more damage, pretty much. And I'm pretty sure that's multiplicative damage, so it's like a lot more, but yeah, that's what happens. Enemies just disappear much faster. Now I'm going to swap to my Riven. Base magazine doesn't really matter to us because we only use that to charge the Incarnon meter, so actually having negative magazine capacity is not too bad, but of course you kinda wanna use this one because otherwise you'd only have like 6 bullets, which is not great. So let's summon 20 fresh enemies. I will also apply electricity, and let's see again how it performs. You'll see that, it's gonna be, of course, a lot better than before. And that's it. That's all the enemies. They'll just die from heat stacks. Now I swap back to my HP build on Inaros, so we don't have any external buffs. I will instead use my Panzer Roof Profiler to add viral and electricity with its claws. So let's go. He's gonna spit viral on enemies. He's gonna apply electricity with his claws, and now everything just dies at the touch of one button. You see that, like, even after shooting for like half a second, enemies will take many heat stacks, and those many heat stacks will just chomp through their HP in seconds and deal very high amounts of damage, which is always funny. And yeah, that's pretty much the Furis. It's just completely insane, and the only thing you have to do is build it correctly, which is very easy to do. And that's pretty much it. This is probably one of the best weapons in the game right now, and it's a very cheap weapon to acquire. Alright, I'll now leave you guys to the showcase where I test the weapon for 5 minutes in a stealth path survival against greener enemies, so you can see how it performs in a more realistic scenario. If you enjoyed the build, remember to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Have a great rest of the day, and bye-bye.
I can feel you. know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Let the darkness take control. Let the darkness take control. Darkness take control. May the darkness take control. Take me in slow, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lights, so you can see what you do. Restless